BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back, good morning. Let's have a look. Yep, that's recording, that's fine. We're just going to do something slightly different this morning. It's going to talk about an altcoin that I think is probably an okay, reasonable setup on the short term. On the higher term time frames, looks pretty good as well. This is going to be something that you'll have to put a bit of faith in for a longer term position. I don't think it's too much of a bad idea. There's always a lot of buzz around it. The market cap is obviously quite high, but it's not trading on the major exchanges, so that can obviously make a difference if it moves on to something like Binance or Coinbase or whatever. But for the moment, it's generally trading on the smaller exchanges. Although, like I said, the market cap is quite high. So it's EWT, as you probably guessed from the thumbnail, because that must be what I'll have called it, because that's what we're looking at today. Because Bitcoin is still fannying around in that sideways area, still holding above 29,700, which is fine. We should be hopefully remaining above there. If we do, then we'll be looking for further upside. Even so, with or without that, Ethereum's still holding above its major support as well. So we're looking at this on the 4 hourly. We're talking 1886, and as long as we hold there, and we could be looking for a move up, towards 2,000. And it's only when Ethereum gets above 2,000. Altcoins potentially have some kind of season involved. Right, so first, let's start on EWT. 4 hourly, you can see this rising wedge, or a rising triangle. And with that is a likely possibility of a breakout. These are more bullish than bearish. We've moved that. So we've got more room towards the end of the apex here, so a break either way is likely to have continuation in that direction. The closer you get to the apex, the more likely it is to have a fake out, whether that's up or down. And so what we're looking at here is moving up incrementally, bit by bit, as support and the resistance stays the same, which is why it's more bullish than bearish. Supports get higher, resistances stay the same, and basically we'll be looking for a breakout. And the breakout level on this is basically $2.90-ish area. If we think about Ichimoku clouds, what we do see is a pump signal on the 4 hourly that could and should be enough to push us up towards the top of the range. And again, this is going to be dependent on the rest of the market. If the market pulls back, then this is going to pull back too. It's very unlikely to be able to move in the face of everybody else. The volume's very low on this, like extraordinarily low, which means that if we do get a trend on this one, we'll be looking for much larger moves as the volume falls in. Remember, we're waiting for sentiment and confidence to increase in altcoins, which, given what happened with XRP, has helped. And now what we really want to see is, sorry, I've got a 3-year-old behind me. She is not on nurseries, as you all know, on Fridays. But yeah, we'll be looking for sentiment and volume to increase with those two things. So XRP to remain, above 60, we'll call it, and Ethereum to break 2,000, and then we should start to see alt season. Then these small volumes like this should turn to large volumes with much bigger candle bodies. So that's your 4 hourly setup. Like I say, pump signal that should take us up to the resistance 290. And let's have a look at the daily, which is still basically a bit of a rubbish looking chart. Nothing really exciting about this. We moved up to the top of the Bollinger Band yesterday. We're still above the centre. So the centre being 270, and obviously the bottom side of the range being 263. But this formation is nothing more than a formation, so we should be trending within it until we decide to break one way or another. If we do break out, remember the 200 exponential and simple sitting around $3 and $3.13, so they could pose a problem. Now, the most interesting component to this is the weekly for me, because if we're looking for big sizable moves, we'd be looking for us to break this Bollinger Band center here. So we're sitting in the center of the range, 276, and the 276 area, once that breaks and we hold above there, which should, like I say, coincide with the support, the resistance of the formation, is probably the one that we're looking to see a big move up for. So first would be the top of the range. So we got the 50 exponential and the Bollinger Band center, about $3.47, and then we got our previous peak over here at 450, which would be a major resistance in itself. And before I do all of that, I just wanted to show you something else as well. So if you go to the weekly, you can find ourselves trending within a much larger formation, and we broke out quite close to the end of an apex, and these supports basically match the bottom of the triangle and a retest of those supports. So this doesn't mean that this is where the bottom is, but an educated guess would say that when you creep out of a formation like this, it's unlikely to have immediate continuation. So we got towards the end of the apex, very close to it, way more than 75% of the way through, and it didn't have immediate big move up or anything like that. So what we ended up doing was meandering and coming down and more or less scraping the previous lows, which was about 215, and that could easily be tagged again. It's also the bottom of the Bollinger Band range as well on the weekly, so we could easily come back down to that level again. And if we did, it'd be worth a shot. To be honest with you, it'd be worth a shot. Effectively double bottoming, triple bottoming, maybe on a higher term time frame like a weekly. Now the moving averages, we are below almost all of them on the weekly, which is why buying into resistance it does require a bit of extra confidence. If you wanted to buy into this formation on the shorter term time frames, I could understand why you'd want to do that. If you wanted to wait to see if we get the breakout, that would also be probably better for instant gratification of a trade. But if you're looking to buy and hold, for instance, I suppose now you might as well put your first dollar cost average into this area, and anything lower moving all the way back down to the bottom of the trend. But the 4 hour, like I say, does have a pump signal. We just need Bitcoin and Ethereum to hold or gain from this area to help EWT move up further. But if we did come down around $2.15, $2.15 thereabouts would be a decent dollar cost average buy, to buy into this and hold into some of this. But like I said, if we break these areas, and again there's formations and moving averages on all time frames to break around this level, we should be looking for a powerful move. Initially, probably fizzle out around that 450 area, which we will put a support, a resistance trend line in there now. And you can see that does match quite a lot of historical weekly candle bodies as well, as not just the top roughly. So we're talking like mid to upper $4 zone. So right now I hold this, I'm quite happy to hold into it. Don't really mind. The 4 hourly looks okay, being above all major moving averages with that pump signal. The daily's kind of neither here nor there, but still 65% more likely to remain above the Bollinger Band. And the weekly is looking to break. So long story short, short term there is a possible move up to 290. You break 290, we could be seeing areas like 450 or so tagged, and then once you break 450, that's where the real that's where the big gains will really happen, and the gains that will make sort of way more excitement if you've bought down lower. But look, remember, this is trading in a very low volume. The coin doesn't trade on sort of huge volume exchanges, not yet. We hope that one day it will. It may not, it may never, but we hope that it will. And until then, we're sitting around scratching around in the dirt looking for the perfect entry point. But for those who wish to hodl, I don't see a problem with starting your dollar cost averaging from here down to here, and then see if it breaks us down lower, or whether we decide to write off our losses or continue to dollar cost average. I personally don't think it's too much of a problem to continue to buy into it, really. Obviously, the previous all-time high was all the way up here at $23. So if we return to that, it'd be like a 10x, just short of a 10x. And if for whatever reason this does break out and go much further than that, then excellent. I'd need to check the tokenomics really to understand if it's something that's actually possible for that to happen. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Something interesting to look at. If you want to join the Patreon live stream, we're doing one tonight. I'll see you there at 8 o'clock. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.